have celebrated the past, embraced the present. This morning, we will envision the future. As most of you know, about 18 months ago, we kicked off a congregation-wide vision planning program to develop the vision and future ministry of St. Paul. As Proverbs 29 says, where there is no vision, the people will perish. And that is why we took an in-depth look at where we are and where we need to be in the future. We want you to know that the revision report is not stuck on a shelf gathering dust. We put our revision plan into motion, and the session reviews our progress during the monthly meetings. There are several areas identified to implement our revision plan. We have made great progress in all of them, and this morning I'm going to touch on the key highlights of our accomplishments. Please note that I'm not going to be highlighting all that our committees have been doing. That will take all morning. We just are simply going to focus on the revision report and next steps so that you can see the exciting things your stewardship out in Johnston 2016. Here we are, really are, on the revision project. First up is Christian education. Our objective is to provide a vibrant Christian education program that empowers members of all ages to become mature disciples in Jesus Christ. Christian education is essential to ensuring we are a vibrant church. Gretchen Kramer and Renee Kramer have done an outstanding job leading our Christian education committee, and even keeping Lucas involved. To highlight some of our accomplishments, 41 children attended our VBS this summer, and that's outstanding. We have secured a great leadership team for Logos Sunday School for 2015 and 16. We had 17 graduates who passed the Bill's initial disciple classes, and new classes started in September of this year. I attended one of those first disciple classes, and believe me, I was enlightened and changed forever. Pastor Bill trained a small group of leaders who are leading a series of 4 post-disciple groups that have been very well attended. From a next step perspective, we are in process of working on outreach events that will utilize the Family Activity Center to provide Christian education to the community as well. We're right on track. For facilities, our objective is to effectively utilize the church facilities and the Family Activity Center in particular to meet the needs of and warmly welcome the congregation and community. Some of our accomplishments include renaming the gym to the Family Activity Center at the dedication ceremony, along with hanging beautiful banners to promote it. We have also established a hospitality committee of sorts for visitors, and now personally welcome groups that make use of our church facilities. We will continue to reach out to the community and organizations to offer our facilities. And the bonus is, we receive no income. We have such a beautiful and functional facility. From a marketing perspective, our objective is an effective marketing program that communicates our Christian values, identity, and opportunities to connect our church to the surrounding community. We have an attractive website and a Facebook page that has over 150 followers and are now running monthly ads in the Johnston Living magazine. We are also researching ways to increase our curbside visibility. This will draw attention to our building as a church. We love Facebook, and it allows us to communicate with the congregation and the community. Worship and music. The objective of worship and music is to offer worship services and hospitality that connect with other people. Worship and music has been extremely busy this year, with those keys you have to help. The praise team has been more active, and we have explored more blended and contemporary services. Another highlight was the creation of a live nativity service on Christmas Eve. A congregational survey was recently conducted regarding our worship styles, and the session has been reviewing the results to determine our future direction. The praise band rocks, and the bells are beautiful. And I love all the animals in the nativity scene almost as much as the kids. Mission. The objective of the mission is to provide frequent opportunities for church members to engage in mission and in honor of local region. The mission membership and evangelism committees have had a very exciting year with Arla Darling, Jana Foley, and Dennis Meyer, who are keeping very busy promoting the mission of St. Paul. Our sponsoring of the alternative gift market last year was a smashing success, and it will be held again here next Saturday. Last year, we raised over $7,000 for missions, and this year, we are hoping for even more. We also participated in the Johnston Green Days, hosting a garden-to-table event, and fun was had by all on our float and homecoming parade. Up next is Building and Grounds, and their objective is to work with the M&E Committee to improve the church's visibility and hospitality. Whitey, as usual, has done a great job as the Building and Grounds Chairman, among all the other responsibilities he takes on. Thanks, Whitey. We installed a 30-foot safety handrail outside the Family Activity Center, and it used to be a real hazard to walk up that ramp on icy winter days, but no longer. Several signs have been installed within the building, such as free Wi-Fi, which is very much appreciated, especially by those who use the Family Activity Center. We are also in the process of exploring ways to make the building more welcome. The objective of stewardship is to continue to fully fund mortgage payments with the general fund beginning in 2016. The We Are Family Stewardship campaign was selected, and we have presented our past and present to you. And I'm here right now discussing the future with you. Additionally, we are working on a solution for online giving, which many of you would prefer to use. We thought you might get a chuckle on that. As we have discussed before, we are going to consolidate the general budget and building fund in 2016. It is important that members of St. Paul have transparency to our finances, and this consolidation will provide this. Our mortgage consists of the Family Activity Center and numerous other improvements that we did in 2004, such as updating the sanctuary, raising the chancel, converting the pews to comfortable upholstery, replacing the roof, adding handicap accessible bathrooms, updating the kitchen with an industrial sink, ice maker, and third stove. And since 2004, we have enjoyed the benefits of all these improvements. As you can see here, the giving toward our mortgage obligation has steadily declined over the years. In the past, the building fund drive was conducted every 3 years to pay for our mortgage. We have just completed 4 days. Consolidation of the building fund and the general budget will eliminate the need for these fund drives, but we need to make sure we take care of our obligations. Friends, our St. Paul family is truly blessed. We are asking for everyone's support in the building fund and the general budget alone in 2016. As we saw in the previous slide, it takes approximately $55,000 annually to pay for our mortgage, which is roughly about $4,600 a month. Assuming the current contributors who have given to the building fund continue their giving, we will have a shortfall of about $2,700 per month in 2016 and beyond. Therefore, we are asking all members to increase their giving percentage to close this shortfall. In closing, we have celebrated our past, embraced the present, and envisioned the future, which has given us a good picture of who we have been, where we are now, and where, by God's grace, we will be going. Next Sunday is our stewardship celebration. We will have some great music from the choir, the praise team, and even Nathan Green. At the conclusion of the service, we will pass out our estimate of giving cards and invite you to lay them on the communion table as per our family's tradition. Friends, indeed we are family, and our mission is to glorify God by making disciples who connect in community, grow in faith, and serve in joy. Thank you for your time this morning. And now I will be happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Grant?
Don.
Hey, I got a few questions.
Come right forward, sir. I'll try to answer them for you.
Boy, do I have questions. I swear, if I see another one of those PowerPoint slides from you and stewardship committee, my eyes are going to explode.
Well, I do work for Wells Fargo.
Well, I guess you can't help it then. But I still have some questions. For instance, why should I be updating my pledge since this whole campaign is all about the gym? Oh, I mean the Family Activity Center. After all, I don't have any young children, and I doubt I'm going to be playing any basketball anytime soon.
Well, actually, Don, the improvements we made in 2004 weren't all about the gym. I mean, the Family Activity Center. In fact, about 30% of the improvements caused focus on the raising the stage, as you can see I'm standing on now. It also included new pews and carpet for the sanctuary, new ovens for the kitchen, and a much-needed roof for the whole building, choir closet, and 2 handicap accessible restrooms. Don, have you used one of the new restrooms?
Of course I have.
You gotta admit, they're pretty nice. Besides, even if you don't have young children, the Family Activity Center has made St. Paul a much more family-friendly church. Everyone, including those who have joined recently, benefits from these improvements.
Okay, but still, why did we get this big mortgage in the first place? I heard that all of these improvements cost about $1.13 million. That's a lot of greenbacks.
Agreed. That's a great question. Don, it's true that $1 million is a lot of money. So much money, in fact, that the congregation couldn't raise it all at one time. But we knew that God was calling our church to make these improvements, so we took out a loan. At that point, paying the mortgage became everyone in the church's responsibility. By the way, Don, this isn't the first time our church family took out a large mortgage. We did it when we built the sanctuary and fellowship hall too. When the sanctuary was built in 1960, for instance, we financed $130,000, which is like spending $1 million today. We paid that mortgage off, and we'll pay this one off too. By the way, did you know that the original list of improvements that the church wanted to do was actually over $3 million?
$3 million?
Yeah. Can you imagine paying that mortgage? No, thank you. I'm glad Session only approved the necessary improvements, nearly a third of the original amount.
Well, hey, I'm with you there. You know, I can remember 2004, just like it was yesterday. I was even more handsome and debonair then. But you know what? I can't remember ever voting for the gym. Oh, I mean, the family activity center. I think I just voted for the cushy pews. I mean, after all, a strong, alcoholic guy like myself really loves cushy pews.
Well, Don, I don't remember how you voted either, but I bet you voted for it. After all, 91% of the congregation voted for the project. Now, as to just voting for the cushion pews, that was impossible. You either voted for the whole thing or against it, and almost everyone voted for it.
Okay, Brent, but still, what if I didn't vote for it?
Well, remember that our stewardship theme is we are family. As we've all probably experienced in our own families, we may not agree with all the improvement that our spouse wants done. However, once they're done, we do enjoy the benefits. And they do still need to be paid for. It's just a part of being a family.
Okay, so I did this letter you mailed last week where you showed how much giving the building fund had gone down over the past 11 years. Didn't we start with about 70 families at $350,000, and then we ended up with 27 families with only about $100,000? How could giving have gone down that much?
Well, it's hard to say for sure. But no doubt, most of the decline has just been due to the initial excitement of the project wearing off. When something's new, we're all enthusiastic, but over time, we take it for granted. And then it just becomes another thing. Unfortunately, another reason for the decline has been due to a loss in membership. Some people have moved away, many others have moved on to their heavenly home, the mission home.
Okay, I hope we're doing a better job today than Brent, that we're just not forgetting this.
Well, we've added new members, and we are doing a better job. Our new membership class is all included a good selection, a good section on our church history, including the 2004 improvements, and the fact that we're still working on the mortgage.
Okay, you're a banker, right?
Well, I just actually work for a bank.
Close enough. In your letter, you mentioned that 15 years of payments remain on our mortgage. Could you tell us just how much was the principal on the original mortgage, and what's the total principal that remains today?
Sure can. Back in 2004, we completed the construction of the Family Activity Center and all the other improvements to the church at that time. Our mortgage began in 2005, and we financed over 25 years. We now have 15 years remaining, and after a substantial down payment, we financed approximately $800,000. We now have a principal balance of about $600,000.
Thanks. That's not bad for a semi-banker. So this is a hard question for me to ask. What if we can't increase our pledges enough to meet our mortgage payments?
Well, I've lost more than a little sleep pondering that one myself. We could refinance existing mortgage for a longer term, but who wants to see more of our hard-earned money going to a bank instead of real needs in the church and the world? So nobody wants to do that unless we have to. Besides, our bank did recently lower our interest rate, and we don't want to do anything to jeopardize that lower rate. If it becomes necessary, we could also choose to reduce our 2016 budget. The problem here is that the budget is pretty much pointing to decline from 2015, except for a very modest increase in our staff salaries. So, the only real way to reduce the budget to any degree would be to cut our programs and perhaps even our staff. That would be a big blow to our ability to realize the vision of our future. If we have worked so hard part to establish in our division program. Of course, we could be like the Girl Scouts and start selling cookies. Shall I sign you up for that now?
Thank you.
Seriously though, we face the same type of obstacles when we built the church in 1960. Those members had faith, and we believe that faith will prevail today.
Amen to that. So what's this idea that we aren't just asking those who gave faithfully the last 11 years, to the building fund, to continue their giving, but we're actually asking them to increase it if possible. That just doesn't seem fair to me when some people haven't even given anything to the building fund so far.
Well done. Those who have the means typically step up and come through, no matter what the situation is. The fact is, the stewardship committee realizes that not everyone is going to be able to increase their pledge. We also have seniors on fixed income, single mothers, and so forth. We get that. So we need those that God has blessed more to give more.
Hey, didn't Pastor Bill just say something about that? And didn't Jesus address that issue?
Good job done. Carrie said you were really confused having really all that thin air up around Mount Everest. But you're spot on. Yes, in Luke 12:48, Jesus said, "Much is required from the person to whom much is given. Much more is required from the person to whom much more is given." And it just makes sense too. Remember our theme, we are family. We wouldn't ask a teenager working at McDonald's to contribute as much to the family as we would an adult with a full-time job. It's the same way in the church family.
Well, I don't know. I'm kind of a black and white guy. Why don't you just tally up everything that we need to pay, and divide it on the number of people we have in St. Paul? I just want to give my fair share, not a penny more, not a penny less.
Well, Don, stewardship is more than dollars and cents. Above all, it's the matter of the heart.
Well, I hate to say it, but I think there's another Bible passage about that too, isn't there?
Once again, you're right on target, Don. In Luke 12:34, for instance, Jesus says, "Wherever your treasure lies, there will your heart be." Stewardship, then, isn't really about the need of the church to receive, but the need of the giver to give. All of us need to give generously, so that our hearts will be in the right place, and we will bring glory to our Creator, Redeemer, and Sustainer.
Okay, well, hey, just one more thing. I've been trying my best, Larry and I both, to meet our pledge. Sometimes, we fall short because we don't attend church as often as maybe we should. And sometimes, we're out of state. And, well, sometimes I'm disappointed. And I guess, with the thin air and all, maybe sometimes I'm a bit absent-minded too. But is it possible to have my monthly pledge amount automatically deducted from my bank account?
Glad you asked. We are currently working on the ability for members to have their contributions automatically deducted from the bank as they wish. Hopefully, by the beginning of the year, we will have that system in place.
Brent, you're all right. I don't care what Mary Ann's been telling me about you.
And you're okay too, Tom. And I don't care what Gary's been telling me about you either. After all,
We are family.
family. If you have any more questions, Don and I, and other members of the stewardship committee, will be happy